Some sad news in the world of football that happened on May 9th, on Saturday, May 9th, was the death of Craig Morton. He played in the NFL for 18 seasons. He played college ball for Cal, the Golden Bears. Actually got picked 5th overall in 1965, spending 9 seasons with the Cowboys, and then a quarterback controversy with Staubach meant he went to the Giants, and then he went to the Broncos and played 6 years for them. The main reason why I'm doing this kind of as a start, you know how when I do a tribute game, I do a tribute game that, I show like second and 10 football, for example, and then go straight into the person we're honoring. The crazy crap that happened was last night on May 11th. I did not know this, but May 11th, randomly, there was this Denver Broncos post about Craig Morton. And I'm like, Craig Morton passed away. And I'm like, how the heck did I not know Craig Morton died? Allegedly, he died on Saturday, but it was not shared till yesterday. And unfortunately, at 10:15 at night, I could not do the Craig Morton tribute game right on the nose. However, well, he died a couple days ago. However, there was one little tiny little problem as well. Strange as it sounded, that the 1971 Cowboys and the 1977 Broncos were to play in the second and 10 tournament game and all that. I guess I'll pull that up. 1 second, so you see my. Okay, here. Yep. Play 16 season. 1970. There we go. See, 71 Dallas took on 77 Denver. I had no clue that Craig Morton had died. I did put in my Cutter historical tribute match on playlist the Craig Morton game that was on Sunday, because this was the tournament, the 1970s NFL teams, all the Super Bowl winners and 6 Super Bowl runners up compete in a 16-team tournament at randomization of matchups. And 71 Dallas beat 77 Denver. Craig Morton played for both those teams. I knew that. And I put Craig Morton on Denver. Dallas wanted to put Craig Morton, but like, nope, it's going to be Staubach because Morton's playing for Denver. And I had no clue that he had died and all that. But of course, that's my tribute match because it's a perfect tribute match. I'm just going to go back to the 1980s and show you. Yep, see, that's what we do. I had to simulate the San Francisco game because those two teams were too much together. Nevertheless, we got ourselves here. Morton played in California. He went to the University of California under Marv Levy. Marv Levy was a coach at University of the Cal Golden Bears. I did not know that. Bill Walsh was an assistant coach with that team. Morton would do a few things. He actually won some type of trophy for being the best senior player, despite the fact he was 3-7. That was kind of pathetic in my mind. The most valuable senior player on the West Coast. He was actually 7th in the Heisman Trophy winner, John Huarte of Notre Dame, who I don't think deserved it, in a sense, was named the title. Morton was even ahead of Joe Namath and Gale Sayers. Mm-mm. Morton finished his career for over 4,500 passing yards in one career, not in one season. He had over 2,000 yards and all that. He went 5th overall in 1965, and that was, the draft says that the Cardinals failed to sign Joe Namath, who went to the Jets, because the AFL draft was the same day. But Joe Namath was actually picked 12th. First pick was Tucker Frederickson, a running back for Auburn, who actually had a decent campaign in Ottawa in the CFL. Ken Willard, fullback, went to North Carolina. And from North Carolina, went to San Francisco. Dick Butkus. The Bears had the 3rd and 4th picks, and they made some great moves. They got Dick Butkus, the pick from Pittsburgh, and then Gale Sayers. I think those worked out quite well, don't you think? Craig Morton went 5th to from California to the Dallas Cowboys. I think that was it. Donnie Anderson, Jack Snow. Yeah, Joe Namath was in the first round. Mike Curtis, Tucker Frederickson. Yeah. Oh, I guess not. Oh, that's Whitman Tucker. Fuck. I'm sorry. Whitman Tucker went there. Damn it. So yeah, he was the backup to Danny Don Meredith, and then because of injury, he got to be there. He became the starter in 1969 after Meredith retired, and Roger Staubach was also there too. Of course, Staubach had to wait 2 years because of his naval commitment. Morton dislocated a finger in preseason. He was seen as a promised future as the starter, but unfortunately, Tommy Nobis separated his right shoulder. But he got 5 touchdown passes against the Eagles. He had to have surgery on his right shoulder. He ended up third in passer rating in the 1970 season. That was when they went to Super Bowl V and lost 16-13 in the Blender Bowl. And then, of course, Morton and Staubach had that big quarterback controversy, even alternating between plays. But Landry settled on Staubach, and that was pretty much the end of it. Although Staubach did suffer a shoulder injury in preseason, and Morton was named the starter. Staubach was activated in the 5th game, and Morton was entrenched at quarterback. His arm finally regained his strength. Unfortunately, though, against the 49ers, he was down 28-13. They put Staubach in. Staubach won the game 30-28, and Morton basically was done for. The Cowboys traded him 6 games into the 74 season in exchange for the #1 draft pick in 75 and the second round pick 76. And it worked out. Randy White, great defender for Dallas, was picked. And Jim Jansen, who went into things with the Dolphins, was there too. So the Giants decided to trade Norm Snead to San Francisco. And then he struggled along with the team and had the focal rep for the team. The Giants traded him to the Broncos before the 77 season in exchange for quarterback Steve Ramsey and a 5th-round draft pick, which didn't work out. At age 34, he revived his career with the Broncos. He was named Comeback Player of the Year in the NFL in 1977 and actually shocked everyone by getting to the Super Bowl with the Broncos. This was the first time the Broncos got to the Super Bowl. They had beat the Raiders, of course. Al Davis say it's the one big lie game. Unfortunately, Morton could not beat his former team and was pulled for Norris Weiss. His best statistical season was 1981 when he threw for 3,190 yards and 21 touchdowns. He was a downfield passer not known for his mobility and was good with yards per completion and all that. That was brutal. Morton did wear number 7 for the Broncos, and that number would soon be John Elway's in 1983. Morton is still third in passing yards in franchise history with over 11,800 yards. Elway's number 1. I would guess Peyton's number 2. Anyway, he was inducted to the Broncos Ring of Fame in 1988. So Dallas and all that 183 touchdowns, 187 RBIs. Postseason, he was 5-5 for Dallas and Denver. 9 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. So not much. 2 Super Bowl appearances. Throwing for 7 interceptions in 2 Super Bowls. So anyway, that's just how I think about it. And I did the Craig Morton tribute game. So obviously, this is just a tribute to him. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.